Welcome back. In the previous video, we saw a lot of important concepts. For example, intentional navigation using link component inside React Router. We also integrated the navigation bar and we also styled the navigation bar. Yeah, that was very boring, but still we were able to do that successfully. And then we were able to complete our navigation bar. In this video, I am going to discuss another super important, very important topic, that is programmatic navigation. Let me tell you why is it needed. Just imagine a scenario. Do you really think that every time we want the URL to change, every time would a user do that? Of course not. There can be a lot of other scenarios. For example, let's say I have a Google sign in button. Sign in through Google or the OAuth. So if I click on that, a new menu or a new bar or a new tab will appear which will ask me to sign in. So as soon as I sign in there, I will get a sort of callback here and I am not going to press another button and that is going to lead me to some other route. No, that's not going to happen. What will happen is, as soon as just don't imagine the case of a, let's say, portfolio. Rather, let's imagine a case of a web application of, let's say, some social media website. So inside that social media website, it allows you to log in through the Google. So as soon as you click on the sign in through Google, it's going to open another page or another tab where it's going to show you the sign in button, and as soon as you click on that sign in button, it's going to redirect you back to your website, which was the social media website, and then automatically the URL is going to change to, let's say, mysocialmedia.com to mysocialmedia.com/profile. So that's how it happens. So the user did not click on any button. So there are endless scenarios where we would have to probably change the route automatically. We should, as a developer, we should have the control over the page which the user is seeing, right? Of course, user should also have the control and we should also have the control, because that's how we are going to program things. For example, if this happens, then we have to do this, and if that happens, then we have to do that. So we can control the navigation programmatically as well. So the base concept behind this is that not every time the user will specifically click on a button to change the page. For example, showing the profile after the sign in was successful, automatically changing the route based on the callback. If it was not successful, then probably taking it to some other route, saying that you entered some wrong credentials or something like that, and then removing the splash screen after, let's say, 2 seconds. So let's say after 2 seconds your route changes to something else. Anything, there can be endless scenarios. So React Router gives us full control of navigating the page programmatically. We can use the history object to go back, to go forward, or to go to a specific page as well. That's what programmatical navigation is. So next time when someone asks you what do we mean by programmatic navigation, now you will be able to very easily explain it to him or her, what is the meaning of programmatic navigation. So to test out the programmatic navigation, or to explain you the programmatic navigation, I am going to add this icon here, home button. Again, this, I know, I definitely know, don't worry, I know that this can be easily done through a link component as well. This is rather an example of an intentional navigation and not a programmatic navigation, but still I'm going to code it out like a programmatic navigation, just to show you how can we use the history object to navigate between pages. So this component is going to be built using history object, using the programmatic navigation. Perfect. So let's go back, and again, you already know the steps. Create a new object, create a new component. I'm going to call it go home, and inside the go home I am going to make go home.jsx. I'm going to also make go home.css. Perfect. So let's go back to go home.jsx. Again, you already know that we can make it functional component, but still, since I did not as of now introduce you to the React hooks, that's why we are going to stay to the class based component for now. And again, after I release a sort of tutorial for the React hooks, I can probably update this tutorial itself and add a few more videos on how to convert this all of these class based components into our functional components. Perfect. So I'm going to import what happened here. Okay, I'm going to import with router from React router DOM. Perfect, that's perfect. And I'm going to create a class based component. I'm going to call it go home. We don't need any state in here. We'll just create a button, but before we do that, let me very quickly add a comment here saying that this component is only there to teach you programmatic navigation. Please. So I'm just doing to, because I know after seeing this video a lot of people are going to message me, hey Madhav, why did you use programmatic navigation here, whereas it could have been done using intentional navigation? Yes, it could have been done easily just by using the link component, but I have used the history object to teach programmatic navigation, or to represent its usage. Perfect. So that was a disclaimer to this video. I know it wasted a lot of time, but disclaimers are important. Perfect. Very good. So now again, I'm just going to add a button here, and inside that button I am going to add a few images. So again, as you can see, now our assets are going to come into the use. So as you can see in the first video itself, I guess I told you to download various assets. So in these assets we had something called go home. So this home black and home white. So we had these two PNGs, we had these two images, which we are now going to use in our icon. So as you can see, on any other page it is white, and on the home page it is black. Perfect. That's super cool. So first of all, let's quickly import these two icons here. So I'm going to say import, I'm going to say home white, or let's say home icon, or white home icon, something like that. Home icon white, it's okay, it's just a name. Home icon white from / up one directory assets / white.png. Let's check whether the name is correct. Yes, home _ white.png, and the same thing for home _ black.png as well. So just rename it to home icon black. Perfect. And here let's name it to black. Perfect. So now we have this access to this, and let's also import our style sheet go home.css. Perfect. So now we have access to all of these things that we needed here, and now I'm going to finally create this button. So inside that button I'm going to just put an image. So again, you already know, let's name it, let's give it a class name of, let's say go home btn or something like that. Let's give it a src of let's use the white one, or let's say black one first, and we are going to change it afterwards. Home icon black. We also have to, basically we have to use the black or white according to the location. So we are also going to use the location object once again here. So I'm just going to provide this home icon here, and that's more or less it. Let's see how it goes. Let's go back and let's refresh. Okay, we did not use it as of now. So yes, let's import this inside our app. Inside our app, I'm going to import this as go home, and that's it. Let's see how did it go. Yes, so we have this button here, and inside this button we are seeing this image. So this is perfect. This is wonderful as of now. Of course, we are going to add some stylings to it, no worries on that one. So let's do one thing first. Let's do the programmatic, let's understand the programmatic navigation first, and then afterwards we'll handle the stylings and the color based on location and other things. So I'm going to create a new function, let's say navigate to home. This is going to be a arrow function, and basically here, first of all, let's wrap our component before exporting it into the with router. Perfect. So inside this navigate to home, I'm going to again destructure the history object from our props, this dot props, and then I'm going to log it out here, console.log history. Very well, this is perfect. And now let's refresh it and let's inspect it. Okay, so it did not add in here. Why did it not show the history? Because very simple, because we did not provide an on-click handler here. So we should go back to home only on the click, right? So I'm just going to directly provide this dot navigate to home. Perfect. Now let's see what happens. Let's refresh this and let's see. So as you can see here, so it has various options. It has go back, it has go forward, it has push, it has a lot of methods. It has replace as well. So something that is definitely going to help you is this push and replace. So by using push, you can push. So basically history object is nothing but a stack. So if you know the concept of stacks and queues, that old school concept which you read in your high school, stack is nothing but a data structure which maintains the list on top of each other basically. So history object is nothing but a stack of values. So first we had the home page, then we went to the, let's say, contact page, so it was tagged on top of it. So if we go back, the contact, the topmost element is going to be popped out, and then we are going to go to the next the previous page. So that's how a stack is maintained. So basically we can push the next page into our stack, or we can replace. If we don't want to let's say modify or add on to another page, we can easily replace it. So for this example, I am going to use my push function. So it's as simple as that, history.push/, as simple as that. Did you see it? As simple as that. We were on the skills page and we clicked on it and it went to the home page. So that was a very simple example of how can you navigate programmatically. Again, that was very simple. Let me tell you one more example. Let's say if we want to make it more, let's say if we had a requirement, our app had a requirement where we want to navigate after 2 seconds. What are we going to do here is I'm going to use set timeout, and inside my set timeout I am going to have this. I'm going to make a timeout of 2 seconds, and inside my set timeout I'm going to use history.push this. So let's go to contact page or skills page, and now what I'm going to do here is basically what happened is as soon as we click on our home button, it is going to wait for 2 seconds and then navigate to home page. Let's click on it. So did you see? It waited for 2 seconds and then it navigated. Let's undo all our changes because we don't need that. So that was just a simple example just to show you that we have the full control on programmatical navigation. That's it. That was all I wanted to convey through this video. But before going, let's add some stylings and let's add those other things as well. For example, the icon should become black and icon should become white based on the location. So first, again, I'm going to use the location from my props, this dot props. Again, I'm going to just add a const, let's say white button. So I'm not going to add something for gradient button because it's just a switch kind of thing, because it only has 2 states. First one is white, next state, and the next one is gradient. So I am not going to have multiple things. I'm just going to check whether the location dot path name, again the path name, inside the path name n is not capital, n is in lowercase, equal to slash. So if that's the case, then what I'm going to do here is basically, first of all, inside the src itself, I'm going to see if white button, if it's true, then I'm going to say home icon black. Okay, so I am basically, just one thing to be noticed here is when the button is white, the icon should be black, and then the button is gradient, the icon should be white. So it's going to be opposite, not the same. So we are going to use the home icon black here, and for the else case scenario, we are going to use the white button. Let's see if it works or not. So let's refresh the page. On home page, yes, it is black. On the other pages, it should be white. Perfect. That works perfectly fine. And now let's add one more thing to our this home go back button. I'm going to add one more class name to it just to provide some better stylings. I'm going to again use the string interpolation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether it is a white button. If it's a white button, then I'm going to add white background. Otherwise, I'm going to add a gradient background. Perfect. So that's it on this one. And now we just want to add some stylings to it. Perfect. Let's start adding the styles. So go home button. So as you can see, this was the go home button. Yes, it was the go home button. And inside the go home button, we can have position fixed. We have bottom position 28 pixels. We can have the right position, so it should be at the bottom right corner, right? So the same 28 pixels from right as well. We can have it a width of 60 pixels, again a height of 60 pixels as well. Some border radius would be cool, maybe 30 pixels just to give it a circle shape, and some box shadow as well. Inside the box shadow, I'm going to give the same box shadow everywhere. So let's copy and paste the same box shadow from our navbar .css. We had some box shadow here. I'm just going to copy and paste it directly here. Perfect. So when we hover it, so go home button on hover, basically the cursor should become pointer. The box shadow, again, let me copy and paste it. So it should change a little bit. So what I'm going to change here is I'm going to make this 1 pixel, just do some random changes because our intention here is not to make something too good looking, but rather to learn something new. So I'm just going to provide some random values. Hope it looks good. And transition, it's going to be all 0.3 seconds, ease in, out. Perfect. And for the white background, again, the background is going to be of white color. For the gradient background, DKG gradient background, as I told you, again we can copy and paste from our Figma file. So I already have my Figma file open. You can easily copy and paste from the Figma files, or you can follow along with me, which is linear gradient. Just make sure you're not doing any mistake here. Linear hyphen gradient, then 39.97 degrees, or you can provide any one that you want. Then 03D6 F3 0.79%, F5 458 FF6 79.29%. Okay, that was a lot, but so that is just some stylings, and we don't care about stylings that much, right? And let's provide it a width of home. The icon, the picture is going to be 40 pixels. Perfect. So why did the picture did not become 40 pixels? Home icon. Let's see whether we provided the right. I see. So we did something wrong here. We did something super wrong here. What we did is we provided the class name of button to the image, whereas it should have been inside the button, and here inside the class name it should have been home icon. Perfect. This looks completely perfect. And as you see, this is super cool. Awesome. This is perfect. This is just absolutely perfect. Perfect. So this works fine. And let's, if you want, you can change the border as well. You can do all the changes to the border and all the other things. Let's say if you want, like basically I just noticed here that this was having a border of black color and it wasn't looking good, right? So let's just do this one final change before Before ending this video, let's add a border style of none. Perfect. This should fix it, and as you can see, this works perfect. That's it. So in this video, we understood the concept of programmatic navigation. I hope that now, if whenever any friend of yours is going to ask you what is programmatic navigation, you are going to explain him very, very easily on what is programmatic navigation. Also, just a quick reminder, if you like my free work and if you want my free initiatives to grow, so these are the number of free initiatives that I have taken till now. It is more than 15. So I keep doing free things for the community. If you want, you can make your contribution, you can buy me a few coffees, and that would, all the money I would use in expanding my free initiatives so that I can help more and more students into learning things. So that will, all of that money will go only in my initiatives. Perfect. So let's close this. Let's end this video here and see you in the next video. So in the next video, we are going to see a few more things about React Router, something very, very important, which is the types of routers. That's going to be the last topic we are going to discuss in React Router, and then we will jump on to the React portals. So I am super excited about it. See you in the next video. Bye bye.